Joining us now is NewsNation senior national correspondent Brian Entin, who was inside the Utah courtroom for today's hearing. Blake Neff, producer of The Charlie Kirk Show, and Andrew Black, former FBI special agent in charge, also a former prosecutor. Great to see all of you. Thank you for being here. So, Brian, what was your big takeaway on day 2 from the testimony that you heard?
Yeah, well, a couple of things. The surveillance video that you mentioned was a big deal. They ended up letting it in, letting us show it on the feed camera. And it basically showed Tyler Robinson coming and going from the campus several times throughout the day. They tracked his every move before the shooting, during the shooting, after the shooting. And one thing that was just kind of shocking and disgusting, they talked about how he actually went to Chick-fil-A before shooting and killing Charlie Kirk, the prosecutor said, and got food and sat down and enjoyed a meal before doing that. So that was shocking. The other thing, Katie, was the motive. This is the first time that we've heard prosecutors talk about a motive. They essentially said that Tyler Robinson was gay and that he did not agree with Charlie Kirk's beliefs about trans people, about gay people, and that was the motivation behind the shooting.
Did the defense object to that at all?
Yeah, so there was a back and forth. The defense didn't want this information about the motive coming out, and the reason is they wanted to talk about the TPUSA mission statement, essentially, and the defense was saying, look, that has nothing to do with anything. Prosecutor said, no, we need to bring it in because it goes to our motive, and ultimately the judge let them bring it in.
So, Andrew, video evidence is a key piece of any prosecutor's case. Do you think that making it public will affect a future jury's decision, as was questioned today?
Well, certainly the defense is going to make an issue of it. The defense always claims foul no matter what the prosecution does. And in this case, they can't make an argument that exposing the public to these types of videos is going to taint prospective jurors. But you have to balance that against the need for transparency in our court systems. Transparency and the information that's come out the last 2 days tends to halt these crazy conspiracy theories we've seen and gives confidence to the public in our judicial system. The judge has taken protective measures to avoid tainting juries in the future. He's prevented the release of enhanced videos, and he's prevented the most graphic videos from being released to the public and streamed. And finally, we have the jury selection process itself, where the defense and the prosecution will both get an opportunity to question prospective jurors and make a determination of whether they can be fair and impartial. And if they can't, then they can be dismissed. But this is normal. This is normal, and we'll see complaints from the prosecution, or excuse me, from the defense on this.
So, Blake, for months and months since Charlie's murder, those of us who have watched what has gone on and seen what we know about Tyler Robinson and the shell casings and what was written on them and the text messages that we've read about why he did this. Now we're seeing that being presented as evidence in court. The prosecution read a statement from a TPUSA board member today to try and depict the motive for Kirk's killing based on his beliefs. The defense, as we just talked about, tried to get that letter thrown out. But just based on what you know and how you knew Charlie and the rest of the details of Tyler Robinson's communications about what he wanted to do ahead of time, now we know that the motive is being presented in court as fact.
Yes, I don't think, in truth, I don't think we've ever had too much doubt about what his motive was as soon as he came in, as soon as we got these text messages that were released in really the first days after the shooting. Overall, I have to say, I feel this week of hearings, it's been a relief for myself, for others who knew Charlie here at the show and at Turning Point, because it's been such a glacial process. We've had to wait 10 months for a preliminary hearing of probable cause. I think it's been pretty clear for 10 months. They have ample probable cause to go forward, but it's been delayed over and over. It was delayed. It was supposed to go on in May. They delayed it for a few matters to now. And we're asking people how long it will take to get to the trial itself, and we could be talking a year and a half still. One expert we talked to said early 28.
What is the excuse for that delay? How is that possible?
You'd have to talk to the lawyers about that one. I know it's a capital case. I know prosecutors and the judge, they seem very committed to making sure there's absolutely no grounds for this to be thrown out later, and so they're letting it be very methodical. And the defense is taking advantage of that to be as methodical as they can be as well. We're even seeing that with this hearing. I think all of the evidence in this hearing, some people were saying this could have been waived, this could have been completed in a day, but it's likely to take the entire week because the defense is objecting to everything. On Monday, we actually had this almost farcical scene that went on for like almost an hour about whether one of the witnesses could identify Tyler Robinson in the courtroom. They asked him, and then they said that was prejudicial or whatever. They go back and forth. They go into recess for a little bit so they can discuss it. And they finally come around 45 minutes later and say, can you identify Tyler Robinson? Yeah, it's the guy between the two defense lawyers seated right there. Yeah. And so we've seen a lot of this, but nevertheless, I'd say I am relieved that this is happening because the real pain was nothing happening. Meanwhile, people are going crazy on the internet. They're throwing out incredibly vile attacks on Erica, Charlie's widow, on other people at Turning Point, other people he knew. And I'm really grateful to see more of the evidence come out, see more of the process move forward. We want justice in this case.
Yeah, I mean, the attacks on Erica and on Turning Point and on you and Andrew have been absolutely despicable and devoid of fact, that's for sure. Andrew, just in terms of what we just discussed as a prosecutor and the time this is taking, obviously it's agonizing for all of those who are victims of this situation. But as we just heard, could be for good reason to make sure that this doesn't have to go through another process later on.
Yeah, absolutely. The more information that comes out in the preliminary hearing, I think helps the public understand, what's going on here and tends to dispel, this misinformation we've been seeing and the conspiracy theories that have been going rampant because it's been so long since, we lost Charlie, that it's given these social media influencers an opportunity to, spin these yarns for clicks and see it as an opportunity to make money.
Yeah. Brian, final question to you. We mentioned Lance Twiggs. He was not in the courtroom today, but the defense team wants to cross-examine him, we hear. Is there any news about whether he'll be in the courtroom at all this week?
He won't. The judge made the decision that he does not have to come, which was an interesting decision. I mean, the defense really wanted to be able to cross-examine him. They will play an audio recording when he gave his interview to investigators. He's kind of, to me at least, still the mystery in all of this and a little bit of the wild card. What did he know? When did he know? Why did he get immunity? And then today it came out that his DNA was also on the towel and the screwdriver found at the shooting scene. So I still have a lot of questions when it comes to the lover, Lance Twiggs.
Yeah. All right, well, we got to run. But Brian Entin, Andrew Black, and Blake Neff, thank you so much for joining us. And Blake, good luck with the rest of the week.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.